Fucking sweaty in here.
It's warm.
Boris Johnson's jockstrap.
Warmer.
Warmer.
We have beautiful weather here at the moment. It's really nice.
Do you think because he's quite fertile, isn't he?
Very.
I tell you the one about Jeremy Beadle.
What?
He couldn't have children.
Mm-hmm.
And the mechanism that raises and drops your balls, is that the Craymaster?
What?
The muscle that raises and drops your bollocks. Because your balls, they move around.
Yeah, I've watched them at night.
It's not for autistic.
Autistic.
Not for aesthetics. It's to keep the sperm at the right temperature.
Right, okay.
Because it's like you've got small goldfish. Okay, now, has any friends of yours got tropical fish?
No, none of them are that
temperature, but your bollocks kind of do that to your own sperm.
I also don't have friends.
I studied this at medical school. But anyway, the doctor said to Jeremy, your muscles and your scrotum aren't working properly. Your sperm's overheating.
Oh.
You need to cool those babies down, those puppies down.
Ice cream.
So before intercourse, he would place his testicles in a pint glass of chilled water. And that pepped him up, and he had children.
I have a question.
They make it complicated fertility. It's a glass of water.
Do you know this?
I just know these things.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Folk in Scotland. This week, something happened.
In Dundee?
To me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, it's important.
Oh, fuck.
It's important. But first, we'll get to the text messages. Let's see what we've got.
You were a prime candidate back in the day to write into Angela Rayner. What was her name?
What?
And Jay Rayner. What was Agony Aunt back in the day?
Claire Rayner.
Claire Rayner.
There you go.
Handsome woman.
Oh, stocky.
She had some nice advice.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of teenage boys would write in, when I play with my penis, stuff comes out.
Yeah.
And she would explain to you what the stuff was.
Wonderful. Blood.
Yeah, chocolate sauce.
Something happened this week.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, I was going to do the text messages,
Oh,
but I think everyone, even our diehard fans, they've just got bored.
well, that was one of your plans. I didn't want to say I told you so, but I didn't think that had legs. But never mind.
Okay.
As long as it made you happy, even briefly.
I started the show with text messages, so that didn't work very well.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
They'll just try to curry favour anyway.
That's true.
I'd rather, here's the one.
Oh, no.
You know there's always a conceit in a film
Yes.
where there's like a radio DJ
Mm-hmm.
and he starts getting letters from a serial killer.
Yes, I understand.
That's what we needed.
A serial killer.
Some serial killer started confessing stuff to us.
We
And
don't
then-
know. No. What's going to happen now is people are going to start confessing things or sending us things. And no, we don't need that. We just needed nice things. They got.
Just fess up.
I wanted compliments, essentially.
You set this up just so people would thank you.
As I said, I don't have
They're
any friends.
very needy.
So,
Very needy.
I'm going to go through the story.
You do well in Dundee City Council. You'd be a good manager there.
I could imagine.
You'd like to be buttered up.
I certainly do.
Okay.
I'm sort of recovering from this long COVID thing, so I thought I'm going to go out for a cycle. I'm
Okay.
going to get my body moving again.
I don't have long COVID. I've not had COVID, just saying.
You've had COVID like 5 times.
Never had COVID.
You keep saying this. You've had it like 5 times.
Yeah, never had it.
Why you say it? It's the strange. That's the.
Why do you think I had it 5 times?
Because you had it 5 times.
I've not had it once.
I don't know what's going on. You're so strange.
I
So
didn't
anyway,
have it once.
anyway,
Well, never mind.
I went out for a cycle and
Okay.
I done my usual route, 20 odd miles, but I done it very slowly and easy.
You shouldn't do your usual route.
Why not?
Prime ministers and presidents, they always change the route
Nobody
in
cares.
case somebody's get
Nobody
assassinated.
cares.
All
You're
it
the
needs,
paranoid
all
one.
it needs is one person.
Listen,
Just somebody to
you're the
notice
one.
you.
When we were building this, that went, that'd be a great place to hide things. A great place to hide things. Over there, that'd be a great place to hide things. And I asked the question, what would you hide there? And you went, well, I don't know.
No, it's just.
You just want to hide. You need a place to hide things, but you don't have anything to hide.
No, but just
It's so
it
ridiculous.
could be Frey Bentos pies. It could be bags of Hariboobos. It could be.
Hariboobos. Yeah, but
What I'm saying to you in future, when
No.
you're thinking of taking a left, take a right.
Okay.
Because at the bottom of that left-hand turning, there could be a guy in a Ford Cortina just waiting to ram you off the road.
Now, to be fair, my
You
leg.
ever seen the 70s film The Car?
Yeah,
That thing could start following you a bit. I'm just saying.
it wasn't very
Didn't I-
threatening.
Didn't come crying to me when somebody fucking drives over you. I'm no visiting your hospital when you're all like,
Anyway,
you're all wired together.
I almost fell off the bike. I did. Because my leg went wobbly and I just sort of went over the handlebars, but I managed to wobble and then get back on it in front of lots of people, so it looked really ridiculous.
That's fine.
But I was okay. But anyway, I'd done the cycle.
All middle-aged men cycling look ridiculous.
I had a visit from a friend the other night, a friend we know who lives in a van.
Okay, oh Jesus.
He has his bus pass. He's now 60.
You're fucking kidding.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
The thing about him is he's very youthful. You wouldn't
He's
think.
never changed.
No, just
He's
same
from the
head of
moment
hair.
same head, thick head of hair with his golden streak.
Not much of a forehead.
No, it's the hair comes down to his eyebrows.
Yeah.
And he was up the other night and he bought himself.
Oh, that greedy bastard be loving a bus pass.
No. Hold on. He bought himself a Jaguar. He bought himself a Jag. He came up and I got to drive it. He got a Jag. He's done the most middle-aged thing ever. He got a Jag and he's 60 and he can't believe he looks 40. He's still wearing his shorts. He still goes hiking everywhere. But yeah, he's 60. Isn't that shocking?
Oh, Jesus.
Couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'm cycling home.
Mhm.
I'm a bit tired. It's hard going because I'm getting my sort of energy back. And I'm cycling and it's a bit twilighty, back of my house, coming up towards where I live. And I look up and there's a fucking Chinese lantern.
Drifting.
The most dangerous, horrible thing.
Yeah.
And I got annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it. And a light shone down from it. Then it went off again, then on again, off again. I went, well, that's unusual. Then it started pulsating. You're looking at me like I'm full of shit, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove it to you. Now here's something. It started pulsating. It got brighter and dimmer, brighter and dimmer. Then it started accelerating, and then, as I was watching it, it just shot off, not up, straight away about a 30-degree angle. It just went whoop, miles away. And you're looking at me, so I'm full of shit. And you always say, with all these cameras in the world, why is no one filming
What did
it?
you film?
I filmed it.
Let's see it.
I'm not going to show you it just now. I'll show you after the show.
Well, that's all I was in my house one day looking out,
I filmed it.
and I looked up into the sky,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the thing out of Flight of the Navigator there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucking transforming, it's fucking oscillating, it's
Yeah.
fucking changing shape, it's stretching.
You're a
elongating.
fucking dick. I'm away
And
to
I'm
show
like
you.
that. What the fuck is that? So I took the camera, my zoom lens, and zoomed into it. And do you know what
Yeah.
it was?
What?
It was a unicorn, a semi-deflated unicorn balloon, silver.
Oh.
And because it was semi-deflated, as it was turning in the midday sun, the sun was shining off it, and it just looked like it was fucking undulating.
I am showing you on video this thing, and it started pulsating really bright. Okay.
Now, is that a light source, or is that something shining off it?
Well, I would say it's a light source. The way it looked, it was so bright. And then it started moving at this point now, and you'll see it disappear. And actually, you get it pulsating slightly in the distance as a tiny wee dot. If you look carefully, you actually see it. Zip! It just took off.
It's a fucking drone, maybe.
Well, here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It looked very large,
Mm.
right? It was very bright, and when it took off...
Difficult to know scale.
It is difficult to know
Yeah.
scale, that's very true. But it was a completely clear night, completely clear. And when it shot away, you could actually see it on that. It's one size, and then it goes, and it pulses again. It's tiny, and actually you could see it going, but that didn't pick it up, and it was even smaller, and then it was gone.
Okay. Well,
Right, and you go, well, no,
I don't think it's
No.
gay. I don't think you'll be in
No,
front of the
no,
14 times
no,
with that piece
no.
of footage.
Hold on.
Was there a noise accompanying?
Nothing. No, hold on. I'm going to stop you there. because you always complain about UFOs and people seeing them and having no footage. I filmed it.
It's not the greatest footage.
It's not the greatest footage, but it's on a phone.
Yeah.
These are not designed to do that.
No, okay.
Okay.
But purposely so. The government's making it.
It doesn't matter
No.
that
Okay.
it's good or bad footage. It's something that comes under.
What?
I didn't know what
has
it was.
Obviously happened.
Yes.
Obviously.
Uh-huh.
Alien species in Europa. They've been sleeping for 1 million years.
Okay.
They've woken up. They've got in their high technology. They're like a squid-like people.
Is this true?
Yeah. They've gone into their spaceship.
Yeah.
They've thought we can go anywhere. We've been sleeping for a long time. We've
Right.
saved our species from this terrible blight. Our vast squid-like brains are getting. Where can we go? What can we do? Can we go to fucking Alpha Centauri? Can we glide around a fucking
I know what you're going to
black
say.
hole?
You're going to
No,
say
we'll go to
Lockheed.
Lockheed.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say, but hold on.
We'll go to Lockheed and we'll fucking bother him. We'll go and see what Derek fucking Findas is up to.
I would have thought.
They were maybe watching you on the bike.
because big drones can carry people. They could be really big, but this drone, if it just kept going and going until it was just completely gone in far distance, and you can see it happen right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Now, I thought, could it be because I was really needing the shit and I started getting the sweats?
Mm-hmm.
Could it be that? I thought. Could it be because I don't have my glasses on? These are all things that could, but unlikely, play into it.
I remember a short story I read once,
Yeah.
and it was the aliens finally come
Mm-hmm.
and they land on Earth, and all the dignitaries are sent there,
Yeah.
and it's all the presidents and the Russians are there and the Americans, everyone's there,
Okay.
and they want to do trade with these people.
Right.
But the aliens are very dismissive.
Okay.
And they say, here's gold, we don't want gold. Here's oil. Oil's a pile of shite. Diamonds, we don't like diamonds. Do you want more oxygen or water? No, none of that shit. And the only thing they like is this one guy's writing.
Right. Okay.
Only thing they like. In all the human history, they don't like the Shakespeare. They just like this guy that lives in a little house, and they like his stuff. And that's all they'll trade with. So they'll give us
This
all
seems
this,
like the guy who wrote the book
Yeah.
has a little
Yeah.
fantasy.
all the world-changing technology, but they'll only deal with this wee guy. Sits there wanking on a
That's
chair.
like in, I think it was Eagle comic.
Oh,
That
wow.
was a story. Guy walking home from the
Old
pub,
Doom Lord, sexy Doom Lord.
and he would just walking home from the pub, and there's a light in front of him.
Okay.
So what's this light?
Uh-huh.
And then two creatures come walking out, tall 9-foot
Oh,
men,
okay.
and they say to you, "We're here
It could have been Dutch.
to destroy the world because the world's really bad.
Uh-huh.
We're here to destroy it." And he goes, "Is there nothing I could do?" He says, "Well, in our culture, we play games and we bet." He says, "So do you know a game?" And they were going on about all these weird space games. I don't know it. He says,
Correct 4.
"But do you know?
Space Cluedo.
Do you know dominoes?" And I went, "We don't." He says, "Right, we'll play dominoes."
Never
Right.
played dominoes in my life.
So this guy, he was drunk. He couldn't do anything, but the
Uh-huh.
one thing he could do was play dominoes.
He's chapping.
Yeah. So he plays the aliens dominoes, and as it turns out, he wins. And the aliens go, "We will honour what was said. This is our culture, and the Earth shall remain forever."
Uh-huh.
So they get in the spaceship and fly away.
Uh-huh.
So he goes back to the pub and he tells everyone, and they all burst out laughing. And that's how it ended. Like me right now, you prick. I saw a fucking spaceship.
Uh-huh.
You saw the video.
I didn't see a spaceship.
You saw a light. I saw a light. I saw a light, and the light took off. And you see it happening. I'm going to put it up
if it
on.
went that way, you think it's travelling from... I don't
No,
know, my friend.
hold on. It
No.
didn't go that way. It went up like a curve, about
Like it
35.
was caught like a thing caught in the wind.
No, not at all.
No, okay.
Not at all. Well, it was travelling towards. And then
Was it though?
flew away.
Was it travelling towards you?
It was getting bigger. It looked that
Was
way.
it getting bigger?
It kind of looked that way.
It looked that way.
All you're asking for is an opinion and what you saw there. And Chinese lanterns don't pulsate like that and get brighter and brighter. No, they flicker. That's not flickering. Nah, you just saw it. It pulsated.
I never used the word pulsate.
It was pulsating.
It was not pulsate.
Anyone, I'm going to put this up on Patreon. Join us on Patreon as low as $2 a month. It's
Oh,
ideal.
those fucking
To
idiots.
see the full version of this.
Oh, wow.
The full video version.
You know
and
what it's like?
You'll get to see a UFO video.
I've never had such feelings of excitement since I was a school child and I watched that first episode of V. That's what it feels like to me.
That's the way I felt.
It's that when that woman deep throats that guinea pig. That's what I'm feeling
Well,
right now.
you know what happened? I was watching it going, a drone or a light source on a balloon or something. But when it flew
Or
away,
glaucoma.
I always thought, what would it feel like when I saw something like that?
Imagine this happen.
And you know what I did? I went, I'm really needing a shite, and went home and had a shite. And I was looking at it.
What did you need a shite, or was that something? Were they sending you a message?
I thought
Is that
I had
how
a
they
message.
communicate?
No one's
Of
contacted
course
us.
they've not, yeah.
Nobody's it's ended.
Well, that was well worth it.
Jesus fuck.
Jesus Christ.
My
You
God.
started with such enthusiasm about
That's
it.
what I said to you. I've got too much enthusiasm.
got
I'm
too much
convinced everything's going to be great.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Jesus.
cannot believe. So anyway, I thought I'm standing there on my bike, filming this.
Standing on the bike.
No, I'm standing
That's
with the
right.
bike. I'm standing
Okay,
with the bike, and
okay.
I'm looking at it. I'm going, how, if say something happened now, it shot up into the air. How would I feel? And as I was thinking it, it just took off away, and I didn't feel a thing.
Just dead inside.
Dead inside. I didn't. I thought
It
I'd be
chose-
excited in that. I just went, oh well.
It chose to harvest somebody else. Someone else has gone into space.
But there was a light coming down from it.
You
but I didn't
thought
get that.
you were going to be the guy in Close Encounters with the mashed ties and that, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're one of the people that get gassed on the hill and just lie down.
I wasn't group probed or anything. I don't
No.
think. I mean,
Not since that time in Borstal.
no, it was the time I was definitely probed when I was up at Loon Bay in the 90s, and we were staying on the beach, just sleeping, waiting for the tide in the morning. And it's summer, so it doesn't get properly dark. We saw this beautiful shooting star,
Oh,
and as we're looking
was
at the
it a
shooting
shooting
star,
star?
I swear to you, it just turned to daylight.
Oh.
But I wasn't asleep. And my mate was with me. He said, "Whoa, when did the sun come up?" And that's what sort of got. I think we fell asleep.
now this is getting. I don't mean to insult you by this,
Now, it could have been the fumes off the petrol we used to start the fire.
but
I don't know.
a group of fucking sand hippies.
Ah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
Listen,
I'm not taking their
don't
word
you
for
degrade.
anything. If that had been some Duke of Edinburgh people, of course, Duke of Edinburgh award guys, can some orienteers,
yeah.
but just some people. I've seen Point Break with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, it's not.
Those guys.
Those guys worked out.
They've-
Imagine weak.
touch football.
Imagine people like that instead of doing touch football, all masculine,
Instead of robbing banks,
it's weak guys
they
making
were,
noodles.
they were avoiding wheat in their diet.
We did. That was essentially it.
Yeah.
What surfboards? That was the same. We had a fire. That was the
That
same.
was the same.
And we'd
No
cook a
women-
cup of tea.
No hot women in baths
No.
with shotguns.
No women.
No.
No women. There was no women.
No.
No women allowed. That's what it was.
Aye, this is we're in a gang and there's a strict no women allowed. Did you have a tree hut that said no lasses written on it?
No, I think that was my face. I think that was the sign. So anyway,
Your ponytail.
I videoed it.
I
saw it.
What
I'm
a
gonna
video.
Put it up on.
Could you send that? Could you send that? Is that hearing still going on in Congress? Congressional hearing?
Well, okay. Now I admit
Is there
it's
time
slightly
to-
out of focus.
is there time to get it there?
But it was dark. It couldn't focus.
It was. I think you could get that. Could you FedEx that to somebody?
Can you FedEx
Do you want me to
it?
get in the phone?
Listen,
Hello, is that America?
you know what annoys me?
Many
what
things.
you know what annoys me?
Go ahead.
All this time you say, people say they see things and there's no footage, right? I saw something. I've got the footage of what I described. It's all there.
No, not really.
It really is.
No,
It really is. It really is. And you're still, nothing.
Not really. Not really.
It's there. I've got it. No, this was my big moment coming to you
That's it.
today and
Jesus.
saying to you, I've fucking proved
I've done
you
it.
wrong.
I've done it.
But what if someone does, right, say it's a military plane this sea, and someone says, oh, I saw it last night. Everyone's going to go, no, you didn't. Even if they did see it, that's something real in the sky that I saw.
Oh, it's something in the sky.
Right, but it's irrelevant whether
No,
it's
it's not.
whatever it is.
I
saw it, and you're still going, no.
I just didn't
there's
think.
footage, and you go, no.
I didn't think it was that spectacular.
It wasn't spectacular to see at the time.
Oh, Jesus.
What do
Is
you
it?
want?
Is it? Well, I'm a generation that grew up with like Independence Day. There's a thing the size of fucking Texas hovering in the sky,
Hold on.
and you're showing me a thing. It's like a pluke in the sky. It's like an
Yes.
angry pluke.
But this is what happens.
That's
Things
it.
aren't exciting. And that's what happened to
No.
me. I saw this thing go, you've scarred your arm. What have you done?
Yeah.
You're cut to ribbons. Look,
Oh yeah.
that's funny
I was
because
in the garden.
I've got the same one on my elbow.
But no, that was through doing work.
No, I
not
don't.
just scratching yourself.
I don't know how I got
Not
mine.
scratching yourself
With my
while
back
you've
foot.
got fleas.
So I came in today
Uh-huh.
and I thought,
You
I'll
thought you've
show him.
got it. You've got the proof.
I'll show him.
Wow.
Well, there's no. Oh, hey, we got a text.
Shit.
Guess who it's from?
Chris Shadowins.
Chris Shadowin says, "Good morning, sirs."
Oh.
That's us. King Charles' endorsement of kilts and his official tartan designer being called a boost for Scotland.
No, it's not. Kilts are shit.
They are shit. And the thing is,
They're invented by the English. It's not real.
and they're Indian. The
Yeah.
tartan's Indian. But here's the thing.
People didn't wear all the different clan
They
tartans.
say,
It's
oh,
all
you
made-
don't
it's
wear
all
anything
made up.
under it, right?
That's-
If you don't wear anything under a kilt, your knob sits like that and it rubs the skin away.
Well, it's not good.
And you end
No,
up
but
with this.
there's wind just blows up it.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's not nice.
No
So
trousers
go
were
and try
invented.
go and try and take a shit when wearing a kilt.
Oh, it's up around your ears. You look like a flower because you have to pull
Yeah.
it up the way.
You're like a kind of daffodil.
Yeah, you're sitting like
awful.
that. It's the most undignified
Taking a
thing.
piss is terrible. Because the thing is, you've got a sporran, which is heavy,
Yeah,
and you try to get the whole thing out. Yeah,
it
fuck.
hits you in the teeth.
You can piss. If you just open your legs and piss
Just
down the way
stand,
into
that's a
a
lot
drain or something, fine. But they're a ridiculous outfit. But when people put them on, they get a...
Oh, I've got a kilt on.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's really stupid.
The last time I wore a kilt, I
Uh-huh.
had a kilt
Yeah.
and I went to America and I
Huh?
wore it to a Ren fair.
Jesus
In
Christ.
the New York Renaissance Fair.
Uh-huh.
I wore it there. And I was talking to people in that, and one guy said, you need to work on your accent.
Well, you didn't really convince me.
That's
No, they're just
They're stupid.
I'll never wear a kilt again. I used
Nope.
to be a tour guide in a distillery and had to wear one,
Yeah.
and I just do not enjoy them.
They're not nice to wear. They're a pain
No.
in the arse. They're disgusting. You
That's-
can't clean them.
You've got to get them dry clean.
Yeah, and that doesn't
The
clean
one
them.
person I know that wears it a lot is one of the smelliest bastards I've ever met in my life.
The Locky Spaceman.
And he looks so utterly bandy-legged and pathetic.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is, even though this is Scotland.
He doesn't
people-
wear it right. He wears it either really high in his
Yeah,
leg
it's like a
or really low past
like
his
a
knee.
lady's kilt. Yeah, this is what you get in Scotland. If someone walks around all the time wearing a kilt, they're insane.
Yeah.
That's all it means.
That person's clearly insane.
There's something
But
wrong.
Prince Charles likes to knob about in a kilt.
When he comes to
He
Scotland,
got-
like it's
He's
fucking
fucking
Brigadoon.
stuck in.
Oh, what a dick.
Is he still? How long's this going to go on with him? Is he
Dude,
ill?
it's only just started.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
his
just
hands are
big-
huge.
Big
So, Chris's two questions
maybe it was one
are...
of his hands. Just possibly.
Chris's two,
Under his
two
fingertips.
questions.
Uh-huh.
One, what exactly is it boosting? Kilt sales, Scottish tourism, the morale of the Scottish people. That's a good point.
Scottish people have no morale.
No, none whatsoever. We walk with our heads down and we're proud of that.
I'm
but
proud
we're
of that.
not-
Don't make you go to Edinburgh, it's fucking bustling, man. I don't think we need some big lugged bastard selling this in
The greatest thing you'll ever see, and you've seen this a million times, I'm sure. You go to, and I'm not going to give them a hard time because they're more into Scotland than I am, but you'll get American tourists that are full kilted, they're wearing a bonnet, and they're walking around St Andrews thinking they're blending in with the locals. It's hilarious.
It's coming. Okay, Abdi's wearing jeans and shell
Jeans
suits.
and shell suits.
I once saw an American wearing a kilt. It was down to his ankles pretty much. But the sporran was a fucking Arctic fox.
Oh, wonderful. Isn't that amazing?
And he thought he looked normal.
Yeah, they walk around. You'll see there's a lot of the American women will wear the full length
Oh.
tartan, a bonnet, and they've got this flouncy shirt on in that, and they're eating at McDonald's. It's amazing.
Scotland.
When's the
Give
last
me-
time we wore kilts? Hundreds of
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago.
No, we never wore kilts.
It was hundreds.
Plaids. It was all different.
Hundreds of years
Oh
ago.
God, I turned on that guy, Fandabi Dozy guy. Can him? That's the
Oh, he does the jock
Jock
foo.
Foo.
He's a nutter.
He's an absolute fucking head the ball nutter.
He's crazy.
And what he was, he makes, he says he's like a fucking practical historian. Can he make stuff? And
He makes it up.
He makes all up.
Yeah.
So what he's done is he thought, what could I eat to go about? And he says a lot of protein. Can protein snacks are big. So he made a fanny bannock.
Excuse me.
A fanny bannock. So he got a bannock.
What's a bannock?
You never had a bannock?
I've never heard of a
Like
bannock.
a savoury scone, say.
I'm
a
new
bannock.
here. I'm new
Like
here.
a flat bread. A bannock. You never had
This
a bannock?
this story may come in later because
Right.
it actually sounds
So anyway, he
sensible.
thinks, what would the Highlander eat?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you need slow release energy. Can he's talking like fucking, they're on, the Highlanders were all on their fucking diet. Anyway, he makes a bannock and he puts lard in it, suet, and then he puts sultanas in it.
That's what
I'm
you feed the birds.
He's like, where's a fucking Highlander getting sultanas? But this seems to pass him by. So he makes these bannocks, and then he thinks what would be good is if he starts to incorporate, you know, in Lord of the Rings, lammas bread.
Right, yeah.
So he says, I'm making a version of lammas bread here. You're like, what the fucking hell are you going on?
Crazy as
So
fuck.
then he's up in the hills with his fucking backpack made out of an old settee.
Is it now? It is made out of a settee. Yeah,
And he's going about with his stick, and he doesn't believe in tents. When he goes for a sleep,
he just lies under the rain.
under the rain.
We're going to find him dead of exposure.
But there was a Scottish guy like him, maybe know his math, and he's went missing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do.
He
Right.
got lost in the hills. People think Scotland, it's no the Alps, is it? Scotland's really dangerous.
You
'cause
die of exposure
you die
so
of exposure.
quickly.
The weather can change. But anyway, he's up there and he's like, I'm getting a bit hungry. And he goes in and brings out his fucking bannock and he's just, it's unbelievable.
Honestly, that sounds like fat balls that you make for birds.
It is. It's essentially a fat ball for a bird. But this is all clearly what they
I have
did.
to say, what is it? Fandabidozi,
Fuck
Scottish
no.
guy
Look him up.
that
He's only,
pretends he's Scottish.
there's no many of them doing it.
He
Like,
gets
wears a wee
people on.
bonnet.
He wears the bonnet and he goes around with his stick and
Have you seen the other guy?
he's like a ninja.
Is another guy who naps flint.
Oh, I've seen that.
And
yeah.
he just basically lives like a fucking...
I am so
cave
worried.
person.
I think he needs. I'm going to send him in some like
but his
eye safety.
his leather, like, he wears these trousers he's made out of fucking deer hide.
And
They will be, the crotch of them will be
stinking.
reeking.
Can't clean them.
But you'll just smell of smoke. And no, he never would. You're right. A flint's get blind in them. I saw it was a TikTok video, and you see a guy's hand shaking like that.
Right.
Oh, and you look down and he's got a fucking grinder thing, right?
And
it's sat there, and the grinding discs burst.
I've seen it, and
And
it's
he-
stuck in the
It's
safety
stuck-
glass.
No, it's not. He's
What?
got a baseball cap on, and it's stuck in the brim.
Oh Jesus fucking God!
It's come firing off, and it's stuck in it right like this close to his eye.
You got to wear everything you've got.
Yes.
Jesus, good safety glass. You've got good ones like I've got. Like,
Yeah.
But you
I
can
don't
wear your
them.
glasses
I
under
don't
them.
generally wear them.
No, I wear them. I wear safety gloves and everything cutting because even when you're cutting a bit of leather, you could just simply fuck up, and that's me out of work for weeks and that. No, you don't do it. Second question.
Because aliens wouldn't want you if you're damaged. They want you pristine, you know.
I am pristine.
Imagine if they just take you away and then they send you back.
Nah.
And you're no limping anymore. I'm like that. This fucker. This isn't him. He's been replaced.
You know what? I've often thought about that. Getting abducted and they just fix you top to bottom.
Put you in a machine and fix
I
you.
get my two teeth back and everything.
Can I just
Everything's not blurry when I take my glasses off. That'd be great.
just fix you?
So
Derek 2.0. Imagine.
I like the name.
Uh-huh.
Will we see Goron don a kilt?
No.
And show off what I assume are great legs?
No.
He's getting a wee thrill from that.
No, I'm never wearing a
With all the
kilt.
walking. No, you don't have great legs, do you? They're not just like,
They do the job.
well, great legs. I think he's meaning to look at.
What legs are good to look at?
I think you'll
They're
find
li-
there's lots. And
Who?
I don't know.
You think too?
I'd,
So I think, oh fuck, she's got nice legs. Who thinks-
yeah. I remember
Yeah, but
the-
legs.
well, just in general, there's a part that's part of the body that can be considered attractive.
Yeah, look, what
As a-
legs? Why?
Well, it's kind
I
of
love those legs.
the legs are nice.
That's a leg. It's like, I like that. I like her hands.
Yeah,
nice
you like
feet.
hands and good feet,
That's
good
fucking
good
nonsense.
legs. What are you talking? What do you find attractive in
It's
a woman?
tits
then?
and arse, isn't it? Is it no?
I never thought that through. Of course,
Just
I
legs.
never thought that through.
Somebody that's grotesque here with just this wonderful. It's like remember the Smurfs, and they just had the she Smurf,
Yeah,
and she just had her mini skirt and
She
these
just got
blue
legs.
legs.
you remember
Yeah.
legs now, don't you? You dirty bastard. So,
Legs.
thanks, Chris, for our
Aye,
only.
thanks for the one and only, mate. Well done.
Um,
He's like a
Americans.
Chesney Hawkes, the one and only.
Yes.
He was on the TV the other day again. That cunt. He is dining off one song
30
for
years
30
ago.
years.
Oh,
How's
he'd
that
be a good age.
happening?
He must be about 54 now.
He must be. He's quite youthful looking.
He's kept his the same haircut.
Yeah, but it's just once. Him and that other cunt with the high trousers, they've
Just keep going.
parlayed their career. And from that's
Good
one
for
song.
them. Good for them.
Yeah, fair play to them.
Now, Americans do UFO stories really well. They do. They've got it down to a fine art. They've got Congress all
Yeah.
talking about nonsense.
It's all
we can't tell you
It's
the
all.
It's nonsense.
It's a game. It's.
Disinformation.
But what are they up
nonsense.
to?
Well, this says to me, listen, how are we going to fly all these new planes that we've got all over the place? Let's just put loads of stories about UFOs. Suddenly everyone sees UFOs.
I think it's the Americans because they keep going on. No, the Chinese are ahead of the Americans. The Chinese are not ahead of the Americans technologically.
Yeah.
They're not. There's and the Russians are. The American technology they have in military is fucking wild.
Oh, there'll be
And
great
it's
stuff,
all-
yeah.
It's not been done for common garden people. It's the fuck with the Chinese. I
There's
think
lots of things.
the
going
Chinese
on,
are
yeah.
thinking, is that the Americans have that
See,
technology?
because we're talking about, I saw that UFO, drone. And that's a common word now, drone.
yeah,
But in the military, what word are they using? What technology
what
have
are
they got?
using?
They're miles ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. It's
Oh,
they're good
clunky
at
looking. Yeah,
It's like the Belgium
it's
UFOs.
it's a shit that's happening in the sea.
The giant-
In.
Oh, of course, because that's another world.
But
there. Yeah.
that's more important, really. If you control the
futuristic
ocean,
submarines
there
and-
are wild shit.
Now, in Belgium in 91, I think,
Uh-huh.
90,
Mm.
there was UFOs seen there, giant triangles, all this sort of thing, right?
Mm.
Great story, pictures, the police saw it, loads of witnesses, a really interesting story. But what was the next day? April the 1st.
Oh.
So when all the reports appear in newspapers, you have to put these things, you have to take them into account, and you see these UFOs are seen a lot, and the next day is April
stories
Fool's
from
Day.
our childhood that were clearly nonsense, were jokes at the time. They're being dug up again as truth.
It's truth. Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
really worrying.
So what I thought I'd do is I'd do a deep dive.
Oh, into what?
The Falkirk Triangle.
Oh no.
It's great.
The space, the fucking Lockheed spaceman believes in all that shit. And all these mates have been kidnapped
Now-
and stuff, and they're all like him.
At first, I wanted to see in America they've got Congress is dealing with UFOs, UAPs are real. The Pentagon said this and that. That's interesting. Here's some headlines from Scottish newspapers over the last 30 years. A UFO ruined my koi pond. Flying saucers play havoc with my TV reception. Or these aliens better not land here or they're in for a kicking.
This is all just daft, toked up people.
People
These drinking Buckfast.
These were not tabloidy. These were actual
I once
headlines.
received a phone call at the work,
Oh,
and the person said, "Have you had any people phoning in about anything in the sky?" I said, "No." Says, "Wait, we saw some in the sky." I says, "Full family." And nobody phoned in to see it. I says, "No." He says, it was big in the sky." I said, "No." I said, "What did you see?" It was my mother's face. And I said, "How many people saw this?" "Oh, 6 of us." "Oh, no, nobody's reported it." Big giant, kind of like the search for God thing. Kind of Star Trek. There's a big face.
yeah.
They all
Oh.
saw it. They're all
Oh,
in their
that's-
backies looking at the mother's face. Jesus Christ, man!
That's amazing. See, that's
I saw a guy. It was
we can't do it.
a weird document about the other day, and he was wearing white Crocs. He was wearing like a suit,
A suit.
and he had no socks.
Well, I
nothing.
am wearing good clothes, and I've got a marble effect blue, black, and white Crocs on.
I've been taking note of these in my general feeling of disgust, and I've straw poll says everyone that wears them are idiots. I've not seen a norm.
I don't know. I think I
seen a
may
not-
break that.
not
I may
seen a
break
not-
that.
yeah.
Listen. Oh, I'm going to tell everyone what happened the other day. Something I thought.
Uh-huh.
See, I saw a UFO, and something else happened. I thought would never happen. I met your parents,
Oh yeah, okay.
and they're a delight.
Oh, they're lovely, aren't they?
So what's with you?
Oh, it's just I don't know what happened.
Even your dad said that.
I know,
Even your dad said
Maybe I
it.
changed life. Maybe he swapped me. Well, the maternity unit was too wee, so I hadn't been swapped. I think I was there by myself, so I don't know.
It was really strange
Oh,
because
it
they're
was-
so nice and delightful
Well,
people.
there'll be a
Well, no, they were,
with that. They're
and
playing up to the car. You know what I mean? They're on their best behaviour.
I don't know. Well, I was on.
You got
mine.
them in a good day. If
I
you'd
was
seen
on
them,
my best
if
behaviour
you'd seen
as
them
well.
2 hours later,
Drunk,
fucking
fighting.
in the
Mhm.
pub.
But
My mum was eating a giant bowl of nachos, just a giant bowl.
it was even your dad said, "Oh, Goran's just
Uh-huh.
he's just and I thought that was hilarious.
Oh well.
So we're going to do a deep dive.
Okay.
So if they do listen to this,
Falkirk once
Oh.
again, I'll say this to you
Yeah.
again. Why would you travel the endless chasm of space to fly above Falkirk?
well,
You're not.
you've got Bonnie Bridge.
You're just not. It's not going to happen.
So listen, this is very important. It's described as Britain's Roswell, which isn't accurate because it's not a desert and it has a Tesco's.
Nothing's crashed.
Nothing's crashed.
No.
Well, once they did say there that a UFO had crashed, right? And it was over
it was
the
a fridge freezer
no,
somebody'd left in a lay-by.
It was over a police radio, and it crashed, and all the police had went to it. So everyone, this was in the 90s, that had a police scanner, heard this and went,
fuck
and
them.
they were waiting on all of them.
Okay.
They got them all. But just like you said, that's turned into a real story
Yeah.
of a crashed UFO, and it wasn't. It was a sting to get everyone with their police scanners when that used to be a huge issue.
The famous, the one that's described as the UK's Roswell, that Renning Forest thing.
Rendlesham.
But this is bullshit.
It's not true.
It's
Yeah.
utter bullshit. And they've got people on who are there, and they're all lying.
Larry Warren, he's one of them. He said he goes against most of the witnesses because he said he saw actual aliens and people, and
It's just lying.
It's yeah.
Why?
It's a very,
just for shits and giggles.
or
Not
how about this?
financial.
No, or how about this? A drone testing the security of the. It's a nuclear base. They're testing the security of it.
Or just
It's just a drone.
a common one is if a car's going up a steep hill
Mhm.
and its lights are shining in the sky.
I
Depending
told
on
you
the
before.
cloud cover, people go, it's a UFO. It's just car
I was
headlights.
coming back from St Andrews. I remember the girl I was with. I remember it like yesterday. And we were driving back, and it was low cloud, and above us, about 6 round lights rotating right above the car. And it was following the car. And then it shot off, and we couldn't believe it. And it came back, and they were shining through it was coming through the cloud, right? And then I started to see beams, and it was lights at the Mardi Gras
Lasers or something.
in Dundee, and this was St Andrews, and as soon as you got over the hill, you could see it,
Oh,
but
oh.
it was reflecting down
Yeah.
through. It
Off
was
the cloud cover. Yeah,
incredible. It was the
It's-
most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah, okay.
But now here's the thing: once we got to a point where we could see it, and they actually got these lights put off because of it. They were like, "No, they're
Oh,
too
yeah.
bright." Everywhere you looked,
Shut completely.
there was these UFO, these discs. They were appearing on all the clouds, but they were shining, and you could see them over Cooper Way, over the other side of the Tay. They were everywhere, and it was just these lights moving around. It was so convincing.
There was a few aliens in the Mardi Gras on a Saturday night. Jesus
Always, it was-
Christ. They had cameras in the toilets to check for drug use
Yeah,
in the cubicles.
in the cubicles, under the bowl.
The lassies that go to the Mardi Gras used to shit in the floor, so
That's actually true.
they just shat in the floor.
That's how when you went in the toilets, there was an inch deep of water, so they could sort of deal with the shite.
Hose it away.
It started in 1992.
What did?
The Falkirk Triangle. Have you lost track
they waited
already?
to 1992.
This is when it started. They waited.
Aliens. They just thought, it's 1992.
When
let's
does
go.
any wait
let's go
wait
Falkirk.
wait? When does anything start?
But what, time scale.
Right.
Would they not have been visiting us for a long time if aliens had been here in their vast, super advanced society? They're not living finite little human lives, these creatures. They'd have to be living lives vast compared to us. So they've just not started showing up in 1992. They'll have been coming since the dinosaurs, if they have at all.
You're not a scientist, are you? Things have a beginning.
In 1992 seems a bit. They just waited till I'd left school before they just rocked up.
Why is it to do? Why is it all?
It seems
It's always about you.
See, well, that's
Wait,
how
it's always
that's,
about you.
That's a human condition, isn't
No,
it?
what aliens visit here
Yeah.
because you left school?
I left school then suddenly, but they've not.
You
been,
were laughing at my
No,
video. Are you
hold-
fucking
No, but when did Roswell happen? According to this, 96.
47?
47, and they just thought we'll get around to Falkirk in like 50 years.
Now wait.
There's a big,
America,
there's a big place.
1947. The equivalent is 1992 in Falkirk.
Are they travelling by? Is it balloons they're on?
Well, listen.
They could get everywhere. They'll open a portal, man. They'll be trans-dimensional. Come on,
Where's your proof? I've got proof of
That's,
a light.
no,
in
that's
the
proof
sky.
of fuck all.
Right. So it started in 1992.
That's somebody with
We're a
that's
businessman.
somebody with a bloody laser
A
pen.
businessman.
Oh God!
He's driving home.
When you okay.
A giant orb. is
A
in the-
businessman in Falkirk, you're suggesting. That's less likely than there being UFOs.
He's driving home. There's a giant white orb in the road.
I know, of
and it
course there-
flies away.
Okay.
This is what's considered the start.
Is that when Mork arrives? When Mork
It's
and
very
Mindy?
similar. It's
Uh-huh.
very similar.
Like an egg or an orb?
Another guy
Okay.
has seen so many. He built a tower in his garden so he could use his VHS shoulder-mounted video camera to record them, right? Now, the tower is made of a couple of pallets and it's about 8 foot tall. It
Did
doesn't
you
look
get planning
safe.
permission?
No.
Okay.
But it doesn't look safe. But he's up there and you know what? He's got a hobby. He's getting fresh air. There's some beautiful skies down there.
Imagine he was your neighbour.
I know. And he's up there just filming. looking at the
Stevie, do you
sky.
want to fuck it? I'm trying. You're watching me in my hot tub again. Stop it. Fucking
It's-
UFOs.
But it's not very high. I don't know what
No,
he
of
thought he
course
would
it's
get
not.
to.
No,
It's
yeah.
on the ground's exactly the same. His camera had a zoom. Just settle down. This is my favourite one. 44 years ago,
Mhm.
forestry worker Robert Taylor in
Uh-huh.
this area. This was behind before it all really kicked off.
Uh-huh.
But he saw a spaceship in the woods, right?
Uh-huh.
And two spiked orbs, like metal, attacked him.
Uh-huh.
And he passed out.
Oh.
And when he woke up, his breeks were ripped. Now, this is such a big
You know
story.
what it's been? It's attacked him.
What?
A capercaillie. They'll pull the trousers right off you.
They will, and they're
Randy.
noisy.
Noisy fuckers.
They will shag
Tastes
you.
like pine cones.
I'd faint too.
Aye.
They're
Fair.
shagging you. Just let them finish.
I saw footage of a dog in an enclosure with a tiger and it just starts fucking the tiger. And the tiger's loving it. Just like a collie, like a
What?
Labrador.
Right, you need to stop looking
I
at
didn't
videos.
seek out. It's just
He
there.
did seek out. It just appeared
Seek out. It just appeared.
on YouTube. YouTube's gone totally mad. I'm only getting kids' toys adverts.
Okay.
It's no, but it's
Okay.
it's
Alright.
everything.
Okay, Prince Andrew.
If you're looking, no, if you're looking at something like UFOs,
What,
which it was,
retro toys.
no, all
brand new stuff.
new stuff, just toys. And it's
Does
like
kids
all my
play with
adverts.
toys anymore?
I didn't think so.
What, you give a kid a toy when they've got an iPhone?
Do you imagine them with a toy trying to swipe it and
Do
everything?
kids still have those
Wouldn't know what
dolls?
to do.
Can you get the dolls and you squeeze them, they pish themselves?
I
and you
don't
have
think
to
they
change the
exist
nappy? Does
anymore.
that exist?
No.
Action
fact,
Men.
The adverts that came on, it was like, whoa, bright lights and cars. I didn't know what they
I
were
was in
selling.
Pound Stretcher the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and there was fucking Only Fools and Horses figurines,
And Pound Stretcher.
like Rodney figurines. No Del Boy,
I kind of want a Rodney.
just a Rodney.
Are they there now in Pound Stretcher?
Yeah, there's Rodney, and there's the guy with the moustache.
I think we need a Rodney for here. I think I might get one.
They've got Rodney. No Del Boy. Kind of Pound
Del
Stretcher.
Boy's going to be gone.
He's going to be
Yeah.
gone. But I think they're not bobbleheads, but they're of that ilk. But there's smaller ones and then bigger ones.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Who wants that?
Who's buying a Rodney?
Me.
Well, you. I hate Only Fools and Horses.
So I didn't like it either.
No.
But anyway, the police investigated it because he was actually injured. He was all cut up and everything. So they investigated it and they found lots of tracks, like caterpillar tracks, like a digger or
Yeah.
something, but nothing leading to the area and nothing leaving it. And they said some of the several tons had been there but not went in or left. And or they couldn't see how the tracks
what was
had
the
done
case
it.
down
It's
in
very
England
interesting.
somewhere? They found a guy dead on like a slag heap.
Oh yeah,
That's a famous one.
That's another famous
And
one.
they don't quite know how
He just
died.
appeared on the top of this heap. No tracks.
But he'd been
nothing.
He went missing, but somebody'd shaved him. He's
Yeah.
been shaved and stuff.
Very strange.
There's weird things happen, but
But now, this place you can go to, this forest you can go to, if you look him up, his name is Robert Taylor. You can look it up, and there's
An
a walk
actor, that's
around
gonna-
the forest, and
Bob,
it's got signs.
Bob Taylor.
But here's what happened.
Uh-huh.
Before this, he had meningitis.
No kidding me.
Hold on. And he had a bit of a problem with seizures.
Okay.
And he went to get tested for the seizures, and he didn't go through with it and all this sort of thing.
So it could be a
But his
wild
wife's...
hallucination.
Yeah.
Because an orb, you can see orbs if you're having migraines and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I had my first migraine
Oh.
a few years ago.
Oh, lucky you.
And you know when people... I've never had... I
No,
don't
no.
get headaches or that. And I got this
No.
migraine.
Uh-huh.
Because it got to the point where I started seeing flashing lights.
Oh, no.
It was so sore.
That
Every
could
you
have
close,
been,
boom.
could have been that alien communicating
Could
with
have.
you.
Lasted...
It's
it didn't last
basically leaving
long,
a
but
voicemail for
about
you.
20
in
minutes.
your brain saying,
I-
we'll be there in a couple of months.
For 20 minutes, I thought
Look
my
at-
brain was going to spill out my head.
Look into the sky. Get your phone ready. We're coming.
So
The invasion fleet's just about
you
to
can
land.
go to visit this forest, and there's
Uh-huh.
a UFO trail.
Uh-huh.
But I do have a feeling he had a seizure.
It's all based on a guy had a seizure.
Yeah.
You take what you can, I suppose.
And I believe he saw it. I believe he remembers it. This could
yeah.
all be very real
It's
to
all
him.
memories, so
Yeah.
fucking-
It could all be very real, and I wouldn't take that from him. But to know that he was having seizures at the same time, you're like,
Yeah, it makes him unreliable.
it makes it a bit bad, you know.
Can.
So
Mm.
that was that one. I'm really talking this down, but it is true.
It's
real.
no spectacular.
In Bonnybridge,
Okay.
there's an average of 300 sightings per year.
But is this continued or is this all petered out in the 90s?
I heard all about this in Bonnybridge. I bought UFO magazines in the 90s. I was into it like fuck. I
You
believed
do.
everything.
We lived through the 90s. Like, how can I put this bluntly? Everybody was off their tits.
Yes, that was happening.
I don't think the young of today are seeing much because they're like clean living fuckers, straight edgy.
This is
And it's all suddenly there's no UFOs in
well, I was very clean living.
Oh, well.
I was.
Oh.
And I got in my van.
Uh-huh.
This was 1997.
See the 90s.
And I got in my escort van,
Mm-hmm.
ex-gasboard van,
Mm-hmm.
and I drove down to Bonnybridge because he used
Yeah.
to sleep in the back and
Of course.
yeah, go surfing. But I went down there and I
Mhm.
thought, well, I'm just going to be there and look at the sky. I just wanted to be a part
Just
of
be
it.
part of the, yeah.
And when I got there is lots of people in the play park. And I thought, oh, it's a gang. Because I'm
Doggers.
from Dundee and I thought it was gang. But all this gang have got binoculars and they're all looking up.
Oh, I would
People, no. From all over the world. From all over. There was an American guy. there was a Mexican guy.
There wasn't Americans there, was
There was
there?
a Mexican guy.
Quelle surprise.
There was a guy from Indonesia. Indonesia had got on a plane and flown there, and he was a businessman. He was a really sort of a wealthy guy, and he put all his money into trying to see UFOs. Lovely guy.
All that money
really,
spent, and all he
but
needed to do was go out
keen.
for a bike run with you last night.
Exactly. But he was keen. He was keen in a way that was, dude, do you want to sit down and have a cup of tea? But he was really a loaded guy. He was really...
He fucking was
And
loaded.
Do you know why he was loaded?
Uh-huh.
He had binoculars with night vision in the 90s.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's military tech back then.
Right, and they were
Oh.
massive, and he's looking at the sky, and we got to see them, and that was the first time I saw, when you look up, you think you see stars, and when you see through night vision, it's incredible, it's really good. And when a satellite passes, it's really bright, and
Okay.
all this sort of thing. Now, what happened? I'm listening to these guys, because they're more fascinating than even seeing
Oh, yeah.
anything in the sky. When you go surfing, there's a thing called, you should have been here an hour ago. Because you get there, and if a guy's standing there with a towel, he goes, you should have been here an hour ago. The waves were the best waves in the
Oh,
world.
but that's like everything. Bird watchers, fishing, everything.
Right,
Yeah.
you should have been here an
It's
hour
a male
ago.
thing.
And they said, you should have been here an hour ago. They were flying all over there. Now, I stayed up. This was about 10:30 I got there. And I stayed up till about 4 a.m. There was fuck all. But I loved the stories. But
Yeah.
you should have been here an hour ago. Now,
There'd be nothing there, so just lying.
about 8 months later, I returned. Because there was it was organised this time.
Hold on, so you went there,
Yeah.
saw fuck all and thought, I'll bide my time, I'll go back in 8 months.
Yes, because this was an organised thing and loads of people turned up.
I went ice skating once,
Yeah.
and it was such a pile of shit. You know how many times I've been ice skating since?
I'm going to say 0.
Never been back.
That's right.
That's my kind of personality. But you're like, this is shite.
No, but it was organised the next time.
I bet it was
I
organised.
I liked the people.
You want to be
there was
part
a
of something.
Yeah, there was a craziness. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay.
So I went back the next time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I went up and I was sort of walking. There was loads of cars and people with telescopes and cameras and all sorts, right? And
Okay.
TV crews and that.
STV.
And they said, you should have been here an hour ago. There was a light over there.
One light.
And I was like, all right. So I go up the hill a bit, talk to other people, and they went, oh, you should have been here an hour ago. There was lights overhead. And everyone fucking saw shit. But they all saw different stuff.
I bet they didn't.
They didn't.
I bet
They didn't see a thing. And I was like, wait. They saw a light down there. And they went, no, there was no lights there. It was up here.
Fuck.
So within the groups they were arguing.
Yeah, it's just... There'll always be some guy that's the leader. He's in the schisms and splits.
Yes.
It's like the ghost hunters. They see those orbs. You're like, it's a mote of dust. The orbs. Again, it's just shite.
I hate... There was one magazine I used to get, and it done a whole thing on about ghosts, right? And it was dust.
Dust.
And I got so angry about this. And they went, in the dust you could see, and someone thought it was creatures because you can see the shape. No, it's just
dust.
You're actually seeing the lenses, all the different elements.
Shite.
And I was so angry about
It's
this.
infuriating. Yeah, it's infuriating.
Because I wanted to look. If there's mysteries in the world, that's wonderful.
If you spend
But
the
just
night
don't
here,
make
if you
shit
spend
up.
the night sitting here,
yeah,
you'd hear fucking weird noises.
you hear. I've been here late, and
No,
there's someone
yeah.
who walks around in a very sharp, crisp set of heels at night, and I could only assume it's you, because it's at that angle from
Is
my
it?
studio.
I don't have heels shoes.
There was.
I don't think I could walk in high heeled shoes.
I'm gonna say
I don't think you could even stand in them.
there was someone on our floor
Fallen arches.
that was working late.
Oh, okay.
And she had to stay. She went, I'm just going to sleep here, get up in the morning, get the rest of the work done.
Bad move.
And she heard this. All
Is that
through
the
the night.
pipes?
It was John. He's a noisy sleeper. So anyway,
Was it just his snoring?
just he's snoring. But he goes, I've heard it
Imagine that.
all night. It's terrifying. Okay.
He's fridge.
So there was a case of missing time. Colin and Gary were driving.
What duo?
30 minutes had gone.
Oh no. Blackout, yeah.
Blackout. So they used the very convincing, real, and genuinely important technique of hypnosis.
I'm sorry, I'm yawning. It's not because you bored me. I just
Fuck's sake. Oh, I'm sorry. And under hypnosis, which is true and works.
Oh, I know. That's 100. I've seen that.
100% true.
I've seen about 3 hypnotist stage shows. It's 100% convincing. That shit.
They saw 3 creatures
Oh,
and then a
bet.
tall creature, and they got felt up.
Aliens were more varied
Felt
back
up.
in the day. They've all gone. That Whitley Strieber,
Oh,
But
he ruined it.
he made all the
See
greys.
that cunt? You know
But
what
there's-
he did?
There's people that speak with like authority, like
All the
this
different factions
Oh, no,
and
it's-
that. Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Listen,
The best
Dr. Stephen Greer. He's
Oh.
the biggest liar bullshitter of
the
the lot.
best one I ever saw. It was Louis Theroux spent time with alien
Yeah.
guys, and there was the people that thought they were defending the earth, and they're going
Oh,
into
yeah.
the canyon with these guns they'd made, and there was a guy that goes, "No, skinny." He was.
Oh, yeah, he goes, from the global community. I'm from the global community. Hello, how you doing? Do you have a cup of tea? Do you
He was-
give me money?
He was absolutely
Crazy.
fucking brilliant.
But him, I think he died, and his wife started to get in communications,
Of course you did.
and he wears
You
like
need
a
to pay-
hat,
You need to pay
and
the
he goes
mortgage.
around in a car in the shape of a UFO.
You need to pay the mortgage,
So-
man. But they're all balmy.
They're crazy.
Balmy. And all that people at congressional hearing, all the people in the background were balmy.
Mm-hmm.
People I've seen on telly, there's a Netflix show just now. They're showing bits from the earth the day they stood still as it's documentary footage.
Yeah,
You're like, fuck
I
off.
love when they do that. But there's
'Cause
a
they
very
know-
famous.
You just have the same, like, basically, if you were that way inclined, you could put together a documentary about that piece of footage.
Oh, I could make that
But-
last an hour.
But fill an hour of it of like fucking aliens, a
Yeah.
couple of scenes of the critters,
hmm
a bit of footage of the fucking Rod.
Sign up for 7 days free on
Yeah,
a.
and stick that in the
as-
middle.
what do you call it? A stock footage site.
It's like those
I'll get AI
Skinwalker
to
Ranch
do it.
people.
Oh,
The-
they're full of shit.
You'd think, you not got enough in your hands with Skinwalker Ranch. No, they're going elsewhere.
Well, the guy that runs it.
They're all going armed. They're
No.
armed to the teeth.
You know the guy with the real southern accent?
Yeah,
Right. He's been at this for years.
right.
And I think he thinks he's an alien or something. You have to look into it.
Yeah.
He's like this Christian alien
Right,
guy.
okay.
And it's he's completely insane.
Yeah, but
He's
they're
been at
making
this
money.
for years.
There's
yeah.
that Oak Island place where it's supposed to be the treasure.
And they dig up a stick and they went,
And they have
pirates!
been digging there. It has been folk have been buying that. It's like 60 years, and they're risking their lives going down these tunnels. And you're right, they find a
Yeah.
stick with a notch in it.
And they're like, that's it, proof. It's nonsense, man. It's nonsense.
But
There's-
that's good. I like all
I
that
saw
nonsense.
something-
But now they used to be bumbling idiots who would have Skinwalker Ranch. But I watched it the other day. They've got Kevlar on and body armor.
Aliens.
They're all tactical.
Yeah, I've got a
They're
tactical handbag.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
like,
you
fuck
know,
off.
I get it.
Everyone's a militia
I
now.
saw. Now, there are things that are real
Aye.
and people that look for things that are
Look at a
yesterday, I
deep
watched the
sea
video.
vent.
Yeah, but
Look at those vents at the bottom of the ocean.
and there's things on it. Every time they go down, there's a new creature.
And
Every
if
time.
that vent ceases,
Yeah,
all the animals that live there cease to exist.
it's
Gone.
incredible. But yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I watched a bit of footage,
Uh-huh.
and these guys are looking at a trail cam, and he brings a guy across and goes, "Look," the guy's no, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" And they went, "Wait, we
Guy
need to let
fucking his
everyone
dog.
see." No, it's a hen. It's some sort of hen
A rare hen.
it's been extinct for 100
Okay, there you
years.
go. Okay.
And they're like that. The fucking guy, he can't sit,
Aye,
he can't
it's
stand.
a
They're
hen.
like, holy fucking shit. They're looking and they
There's some
fucking
people
found it.
there's
It's
some
incredible.
people think the Tasmanian tiger's still alive.
Yeah,
Poten-
it possibly could be.
Potentially.
Have you seen New Zealand?
There was
Jesus,
a
it's
kind of
massive.
there was a kind of night parrot that they thought was extinct,
Yeah.
and then they found
Old
that.
man of Borneo.
Yeah,
This
the
man
orangutan, yeah,
walking
yeah.
around. They fucking found it. And
Can
it's,
can clean their teeth with toothpaste.
but have you seen its face? It's the
Wonderful
most
face.
beautiful.
Oh, so
Oh,
kind.
so,
They would just tear you in half.
but kindly.
Kindly, just smile at you. Can him out every which way but loose. But he was
Clive.
desperate to fucking
Just-
kill Clinton.
Clint Eastwood just smash his fucking teeth in.
Because Clinton didn't look after him. He died in poverty.
Wasn't he a
orangutan.
heavy smoker?
I think he could have been.
Terrible. Now,
Clinton was like
1997.
100 years older than him.
Unknown farm. It just says a farm, but the guy
Unknown.
reported it.
I went to
A
school with a lot
glowing
of farmers,
creature.
those fuckers.
A glowing creature.
Too
was
much
seen-
sheep dip.
What? That's dangerous stuff.
Mhm.
Was seen walking through a field. It was also reported wearing a yellow waterproof jacket.
High vis.
It was.
It's a
it,
lost
It
workman.
glowed. You put the torch on it, and the guy's like
Fucking glowing.
glowing.
Okay, have you seen those jackets people sometimes wear? And they're like a weird silvery colour.
Oh, it's for the paparazzi. You can't take a
Ah,
picture
but
in that.
you know, but kids.
Oh,
now,
just-
you
yeah,
know
they're
that
great,
material.
yeah.
It's got a weird messes with your eyes looking at it.
Glows from a mile
Oh,
away.
the paparazzi stuff's good.
That's
yeah, I know what
amazing.
they mean.
Scarf and
Yeah,
that,
just when you take a photograph, it fucks
Just
it. Yeah.
glows. A small troll-type creature was seen talking to a dog in a car park outside a disused leisure centre. These are all UFO
those
reports
Dundee
in
people.
Scotland.
some of the smallest people I've ever seen.
Just talking to
There's
a
a
dog.
wee guy called John that comes into my work all the time. He's the best guy ever. Tiny wee guy. He actually looks like a wee hobbit. He looks like a hobbit. He is a hobbit.
I was watching.
Never seen his feet, but I'd imagine they're hairy.
I was watching this thing
Uh-huh.
where I think a homeless guy.
Uh-huh.
He was 4'10", and he was talking to this other guy, and he started going on about, I'll tell you my life story if you're asking, on video, and I think it was a cop he talked to,
Uh-huh.
and he says, I was in Vietnam, Special Forces, the usual story. Turns out,
Oh, he'd been down the tunnels.
no, he was Special Forces. He was the shortest Marine ever. He was a fucking crazy guy.
Killing machine.
You
Small
see him
man, innit?
beside everyone, and they're
Oh,
towering
yeah.
about. He's a tiny wee guy.
Uh.
And it was true. He had the medal. He had all these medals.
No, but they
and
went
he was,
down those
it was
fucking
amazing.
tunnels all the time. The tunnel rat people.
This
They're
guy
mental.
was crazy.
Handy. Submariners had all been little people. You can't be 6 feet tall and you're in a
That's-
submarine.
So that's true. And
Jockeys.
In Japan,
Uh-huh.
half the people there have that gene where they don't get any body smells at all, any body odor.
Okay.
So when you were in submarine training, they had smellers that would go around to get everyone that had that gene, and that the people who had it went on submarines because there was no showers, there was no washing,
Oh, that's
and that's how they were on the submarine. Did someone just learn something? UFOs in education. Thank you. A white orb was reported trapped in a flat directly across from the witness.
That's a
It was a light bulb.
marijuana factory.
It was a light bulb.
Yeah.
I've just seen it. It was trapped. Orbs are attracted to tall aerials. It's believed they take power from them.
Oh,
And,
it's believed.
How would they know
You
that?
do get that orb lightning that'll fucking roll
You know
down
where you see it,
streets.
right?
It's like St Elmo's fire on the boats and luminescence in the sea.
We used to go
and
shooting
fucking
down
wild.
at the Carsigauri and all the reeds, and we'd wait for the geese to come in
Aye.
and shoot them. Sometimes, if it was staticky, you'd see tiny little sparks, not sparks, but little glowing on the water, and it would zip side to
Well,
side
we were walking
on the water.
when we were quite young, we were out and about in the car, stealing pints of milk.
Of course.
Long story, but we ended up on this beach, walking along the beach at night and kicking the sand, and there was bioluminescence in the sand. It must have been bacteria off the seaweed or something.
You do get it
But
here.
It glowed.
It's
like-
very rare. In summer,
it's
you'll
like-
get it here.
Oh, yeah.
And we were out surfing at night once, and if you looked at it, you couldn't see it, but with your peripheral vision,
Yeah.
it was like
There was
this
a guy.
pale,
There's
pale
a guy,
glow.
a British guy, was in the Merchant Navy, and he was out in the middle of fucking Sargasso Sea or something, some obscure place, and he says all round the ship it was glowing to such a degree you could read a book
Yeah,
by
that's
it.
crazy. Yeah.
And this was some plankton.
You see
or
people
something.
swimming
It's,
in it.
it's wild.
beautiful.
It's yeah.
Now, this is the final story.
Oh my God.
These are all official UFO reports.
Is this in a book?
It's in lots of books.
Are
Actually.
you telling me that Falkirk wheel, is that some
communicating?
can be seen for space? Or the Kelpies, those fucking stupid
Oh, those
things.
stupid things.
Twat
People
big-
get married at them and everything.
What people don't realise
Side
is
of the road.
the full body of the horse is underground. It's true.
A 73-year-old woman
Oh, God.
saw a 3-foot tall creature in her garden.
Cat.
So she threw her freshly baked scones at it. That'll be the ones you were talking about.
That's opening a war. That's a.
You got to be careful. You can't
You've
throw
thrown
baked goods at
scones
aliens.
the alien. They might take that. They might come back and vaporise the whole planet.
You got to watch out for that. Until it
Hold
climbed.
on a minute. It was a cheese scone.
I didn't say.
I'd love somebody
It
to
says
throw a
fresh,
cheese
right?
scone at me.
Until it climbed
You ever
over.
seen a dog when they put a sausage on its nose?
That's you. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Sorry.
as fast.
Carry on.
No, please. I'm
Carry
trying my
on.
best.
Ah.
You see, what happens? I have to explain to the listeners.
Oh,
I'm up.
Do they need oh yeah.
Experiencing UFOs, writing down, reading about the Falkirk, and you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Reading about the Falkirk Triangle and that, I really enjoyed
you
it. It
enjoyed
took
it.
me back.
You
I
did.
enjoyed it. It was a more innocent
Okay.
time.
Well. Okay.
Until
You've ne-
this
you've never
UFO
been
climbed
there.
over a wall into our neighbour's garden.
It wasn't a UFO that climbed over. It was a 3-foot creature.
Oh, sorry, a 3-foot creature. Now wait, she didn't like the neighbour, so she didn't tell them. That was her. That was what she said. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, was what is known as the Falkirk Triangle. It's more of a rhomboid.
Have you ever been to the Hairy Triangle in Edinburgh?
I've heard all about this.
Yeah.
No,
No. Okay.
I wouldn't go near that.
I don't think it's for you.
No.
You're not a big tipper.
And this is the way
Uh-huh.
the Scottish
A big glue man.
deal with. But now it's like you said though. Now you get people that are into UFOs.
Uh-huh.
If they're into UFOs now, they're into 9/11 conspiracies.
Yeah.
They're into.
Yeah.
You can't just be innocent and people just
There's
look
no,
at the
there's
sky.
no innocence. It's just too much infamy. Everyone's like fucking warring factions. Everything.
Everything. So
Maybe that's what the aliens have done. Maybe they have seeded humanity with this. We've always been kind of confrontational with each
Tribal.
other. Maybe they've made it worse.
But I
The
honestly,
internet's a wonderful thing, but yeah.
I was,
You can't have one belief.
no,
If you believe in 9/11
You've got to
being
believe
fake,
in
you've got to believe
everything.
dub.
no. When in the 90s, when I was really into UFOs, as
When
everyone
aliens
was.
started, according to you,
when
90s.
aliens started, but
Just as I
back
was leaving
then,
school.
that's the only thing you believed. You didn't.
They're watching
Everything
you-
else sounded mad.
There's some alien with a giant head, veined head,
Yeah.
and he's just watching these devices like that go around his left school. Let's begin. Let's begin.
It's not about you.
The Armada just starts to take.
Dude, it's not about you.
Just turns a key in the Armada. It's heading here. How long would it take to get here?
6
From
weeks.
1992. It's fucking a while ago now. Maybe they're due. Maybe in 4 years, I reckon.
What are you talking about?
When it arrives.
No,
the Armada,
they're here.
No. This isn't the Armada.
I-
That thing you saw in this. In the best will in the world, mate. That is not an Armada.
Okay. We're going to end it with Mark Devlin. He texted.
Oh, thank God, yeah.
Ahem. What do you call a Scotsman breaking wind after a curry?
Let's hear it.
Brave fart. I thank you. That's how we've ended the show.
Fuck it. Oh,
The show
Jesus.
was fucking excellent. I've done fucking research. I've been abducted, and then
Well,
it
you-
ends with that.
Somebody's abducted your senses,
Ladies and
your
gentlemen.
logic. Look. Watch the skies, everyone.
Watch the skies. There's aliens there. It's happening. I saw it. Chris Shadow's going to see one, isn't he? He lives in the desert, though. He could go
you'll
out
see shit all the time.
all the time.
all the
Wonderful
time.
stuff.
All the
Wonderful.
time. Continuous.
The one that's been happening all at the moment. Lots of people are seeing lines of lights,
Oh,
and it's just Elon Musk's
oh.
satellites. Until
You know his latest one. He's going to have a sweetie company. He's want to call Candy. Can Americans call it Candy?
They get it wrong.
He
They call
wants
it
a candy company. It's going to be
Why?
the best candy in the world. It's his thing. I've had enough. I've
Be
had enough
asbestos
with
in
him.
it. Until next time, laters.
Enjoy yourself, ta-ta.